Welcome back everyone to our YouTube channel. I am Educado and this is Earth and Life Science. Don't forget to like, comment, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Here's the link below.
Welcome learners to our educational videos in Earth and Life Science. Hopefully you will learn a lot, think a lot, and explore a lot.
This is lesson 5 in Earth and Life Science, Exogenic Process. Again, this is Sir Arnold from SDO Antipolo. Exogenic process, these are the processes that takes place at or near the Earth's surface that makes the surface wear away. So ano mo itong sinasabi nating exogenic process? Pag sinabi nating exogenic process, ito yung nagaganap doon sa Earth's surface. When we say Earth's surface, sa kalupaan or sa katubigan that makes the surface wear away. So ito yan. We have different types of exogenic process. Weathering, erosion, mass movement, or mass wasting kung tawagin. Isa-isahin natin yan mga ka-learners. Weathering is a mechanical and chemical hammering that breaks down and sculpts rock. Ito isang paraan ng kalikasan na gumagamit ng malakas na hangin upang ang mga rocks ay may turn down into smaller pieces. And also, nagagawan din to ng paraan upang magkaroon ng uniformity pagdating sa formation ng rocks. We have two types of weathering: physical weathering and chemical weathering. Physical weathering is a mechanical weathering, the breakdown of rocks without a change in its composition. Breakdown would mean that the rock is fractured, cracked, or fragmented into smaller pieces. Sa physical weathering po, mechanical po ito, mano-mano, na kung saan yung mga bato ay nagbabago pero yung composition nila hindi. Yung itsura lang po nila. Then it will be cracked into many pieces or smaller pieces. Ito yung isang example ng physical weathering natin from a big or huge stone turned down into smaller pieces. Ayan. It's all because of physical weathering. Another example. And another example. On the other hand, chemical weathering is the composition of rocks due to chemical reactions occurring between the minerals in rocks and the environment. Dito po, ginagamitan siya ng chemical reactions wherein we are applying chemical compounds forming different rocks and minerals. They're exposed to water, gases, or any substance that makes the rocks turn down into smaller pieces. Ito yung isang example ng chemical weathering natin. Ayan. Chemical weathering is a key factor in the creation of caves and caverns. It can also hollow out caves and damage cliffs. There are different processes that can cause physical weathering. The first process is the thermal and pressure change. Kapag ang isang bato po ay nag-crumble and nag-break into many fragments because they are subjected to alternating hot and cold temperatures many times. Kapag ang isang bato ay na-expose too much sa init, sa lamig, there's a change in temperature, of course, there's a great chance na magka-crack ito. When a rock gets hot, it expands and increases in volume. Then kapag gabi at lumalamig, it gets cold, causing contraction or decrease in volume. This is an example of a picture showing that event. So temperature weakened the rock and it's in the process. Mineral grains are loosened from the rocks and eventually the rocks breaks down into pieces. Best examples are the stone in this desert that slowly turn to sand. So yung mga malalaking bato, kaya pala sila nagiging buhangin sa disyerto, it's all because the stones were exposed at night due to cool temperature. The rates of expansion and contraction of the outer and inner parts of the rock differ. The outer part expands and contracts much more the inner part because it's directly exposed to the heat of the sun. Here's one example. Limestone into marble. Kapag ang limestone ay nalagyan ng too much heat, then put down into too much pressure, then nalagdagan siya ng water, it will turn into marble. This is an example of metamorphic change. Heat and pressure, these are several factors that can transform the rocks into another form. One example is in sedimentary rock, shale will change into slate from sedimentary to metamorphic. As increasing pressure and temperature are applied, the slate can change into peelite, then schist, and eventually gneiss. Another process is the wind and waves. Wind and waves can cause physical weathering. Yung tiny grains ng sand na yan are picked up and carried off by the wind, which are then blasted on the surface of rocks, smoothing them. Dinadala ng hangin ang mga particles na yan, then it will be blast or hahampas siya sa isang malaking bato, then it makes the surface smooth. On the seashore, the action of waves chips away and cracks the rocks naman. So yung hampas naman ng tubig alon ay nagkakaroon din ng process sa physical weathering. Kasi yung mga bato, dahan-dahan sila nagka-crack. This is an example of physical weathering. Ayan pa, yung sinasabi ko po kanina. Another process that can cause physical weathering is the freeze and thaw. You know that if you put a glass in the freezer, it will break soon. So this is because water expands when it freezes. Similarly, when water collects in the rock, pores, and slits, it expands when it freezes. Ganon din sa bato. Ayan po. This is one example, no? Ayan. This is an example of frost wedging and salt wedging then. Another process that can cause physical weathering is the organic activity. Animals and plants also take a heavy toll on rocks and cause them to wear away. Example ito yung mga animals na naguhukay ng malalim on the ground that expose the rocks. This is an organic activity. Yan. This is an example ng picture na nagpapakita ng ganong process. In terms of chemical weathering naman, narito mga ka-learners ang hydration or hydrolysis. Process where molecules of some substance in rocks chemically combine with water molecules. Once na yung molecules ng bato ay nag-combine sa ibang water molecules, of course, nagkakaroon ng hydration. Ito po ay nangyayari kapag ang water ay nag-combine sa minerals. Most often, in granite, yung mica and feldspar, nagpo-form siya ng clay. Kaya mas nagbe-breakdown yung bato. Carbonation is another process that can cause chemical weathering. Kapag ang carbon dioxide nag-bond siya sa other substances, a mixture of water and carbon dioxide is called carbonic acid. Yung carbonation na yon, nag-form siya ng carbonic acid. This example can be seen on a limestone pavement and the stalactites. Ito po is an example siya ng landform na kung saan it's mostly limestone, and because of rainwater carbonation plus freezing, ganyan na naging result niyan. And also this, the limestone, mostly ito ay form ng calcium na nadidissolve, then nagga-harden. Another process is the oxidation. Iron, aluminum, copper, and sodium are examples of minerals that readily react with oxygen, which then form mineral oxides. Sa nature natin, kapag nagkaroon ng physical and chemical weathering at naka-apekto to sa mga rocks, yung ibang part niya ay dahan-dahan na ring masisira. So another product na naman ang mabubuo, or another set of rock na naman ang mabubuo. And it's all because of the presence ng oxygen. So this is an example ng process na yon, yung erosion. Sa erosion naman, involvement naman ito yung movement ng weathered rocks. Pwedeng snow, soil, sand, and pebbles from their site of weathering by the agents of erosion such as wind, moving water, ice, and gravity. Lahat yan bumababa because of the gravity or dahil din sa malakas na hangin or sa pag-agos ng tubig. Weathering does not always occur before erosion. Erosion always follows after the weathering. So, pwede natin sabihin na ang erosion ay after effect ng weathering. Transport makes erosion complete. It completes the movement of the eroded materials and sediments. Weathering can continue during transport. Ayan. Hindi non-stop ang weathering. Hanggat nagta-transport siya by means of wind or water, yung eroded materials na yan ay tuloy-tuloy sa weathering process. Rainwater, yan, isang halimbawa nga yan ng isang important force or agent ng erosion. Kapag lumakas ang ulan, yung mga rock pieces, dinadala yan sa downstream, tapos nadideposit sila sa ilalim ng dagat. Then, because of the gravity, pupunta sila sa ilalim ng dagat, then, it will be solidified through sedimentation, then it will form sedimentary rocks. Gravity naman, isa siyang driving force na kung saan it pulls down the water because of the energy to erode and carry away rock materials naman. Then, nagpo-form ulit siya ng panibagong rock. Physical weathering dominates at higher elevation, while chemical weathering takes up more active role at lower elevation. Water can carry almost any size of rocks. Ang tubig, wala siyang pinipiling size ng bato. Kahit ano, pwede niya tong dalahin. The greater the volume of water and the steeper the slope, the bigger and more rocks can be transported. Ito ay kadalasang serious problem ng Pilipinas, especially sa soil erosion and mudslide. Rock materials are loosened by heavy rains and strong winds, and they can come speeding during slopes, sweeping everything in its path. Wino-wash away niya talaga. Ito isang example. Ito naman, transport by the wind. Siyempre, kapag mas malakas yung hangin, yung mga loose particles of rocks and soil transport from place to place. This is common in dry areas such as this desert. Wind transport can result in stunning landscapes as sand is blown away and creates sand dunes. Wind can create sandstorms that contain dew particles and deposit them in wide areas. Usually sa mga disyerto, sa mga kapatagan, nangyayari po itong sandstorms na to or hurricanes at may mga dala-dala silang mga small particles ng rocks. Then it brings another formation again. Ito yung tinatawag nating mass movement or mass wasting. Ito, slope movement talaga. Bulk movements of soil or malalaki talagang pagbagsak ng lupa or paggalaw ng lupa. Sand and rock debris downslopes in response to the force of gravity or the rapid or gradual sinking of the Earth's ground surface in a vertical direction. Kapag mass wasting, limited lang siya sa variety ng processes ng large masses. So malakihang malakihang bagsak ng lupa, vertical 'yon. Recently, yung mass wasting has been substituted. Pinalitan na yung term niyan ng mass wasting processes and the sinking of the Earth's ground. Mass wasting is a type of erosion din. Yung capability nga lang niya, mas malaking chances yan sa mga mountains. Sinking mass movement that occurs in a relative rapid fashion is known as subsidence and a gradual movement is called settlement. Ayun, kapag mas malaki yung paggalaw ng isang particle to another place, that is subsidence. Kapag dahan-dahan na lang siyang gumagalaw, that is settlement. Subsidence involves the roof collapse or breakdown talaga. Then yung subsidence then in the form of sinkholes. Yan, it can cause underground drainage. Ito yung isang example ng mass movement classes natin. Pwedeng soil creep, solidification, translational slide, slump rotational slide, earth flow, rockfall, then debris avalanche. Yan ay ilan lamang sa possible na mass movement classes. By the way, idagdag ko lang sa avalanche, pwede rin dyan ang snow. Then, this is an example ng weathering tapos mass wasting. Pwede po yan sabay na nangyayari. Then, another is yung erosion. Ito, sa picture natin, is an example ng mass wasting ng pagbagsak ng 300 tons boulder block road sa Southern California. Take a look kung ang laki. Then, serve as blockage sa road. Ito naman, landslide can cause much destruction, of course. Ito sa talus cones in the Canadian Rockies, yung talus na yan, pieces of rocks at bottom of a rock fall. Ito naman sa La Conchita landslide. Ayan, landslide talaga yan, mudslide dyan. Monterey Park debris flow, tingnan na po, it's natural hindi talaga yan mapipigilan. PCH near Pacific Palisades, yan. Yan po isang halimbawa din ng weathering natin.
That's it mga ka-learners. Hopefully you've learned a lot from these educational videos that we have presented. Always remember, share your knowledge and apply your knowledge. You click the link below for the simple assessment that we have. Again, thank you so much mga ka-learners.
So mga ka-learners, don't forget to like the video, comment your suggestions, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube channel, I Am Educador. Again, don't forget the assessment below in our link. Thank you so much mga ka-learners.